an apartments pop.
Oh, flying out like a waterfall, but going to be mowed down in the process. HiGHLiGHTS with a clean double. Dita are able to trade it. Now they can isolate and overwhelm this pit player, but the longer that Borup stays alive, the more complicated this gets. Can't delay for too long, though. And Rousenberg from Sky will try and come back into this, but a nice headshot from MBQ, followed up by a body, and he'll do the same to the last man as well. There it is, Dito finishing off the job. So
playing the early T side over here on Inferno. They've demonstrated it in the previous game as well.
A shot from HiGHLiGHTS, doubling up as well, showing he's here to play now. They've asserted their dominance early on, but they haven't had to face up against the beast with the sniper. Valencio does manage to bite back, find himself one onto the A site, but he hasn't got support from his teammates. He's bringing that bomb desperately over, needs to win the duel onto TMB, and does. And despite... Probably buy some FAMASs around it. Oh, okay. So you do get that little advantage. What a grenade, though. TMB does manage to bring one to the grave with him before
set up here for the Flames, because they've got one in Graveyard, one in Mini Pit, and this smoke actually acts as a bit of comfort for Borup, who now has to worry about less. He doesn't have to worry about the Arches player any longer, and they can very comfortably just mow through these players coming their way now. That late Arches pop is going to be the difference maker, though. Detour slowly coming up in Graveyard. That's the first player, and the Molotov is going to deter this AWP from sticking around Pit as well, but in the meantime, Rawls has rotated over, and that is the difference maker they needed. Copenhagen Flames finally on the verge of putting their first round on the board.
3 M4s, all the util. Every man's got a kit as well. A nice opening from Valencio. That hero AK put to good use. Oh, and another.
Oh yeah, this is a little brutal actually. The only line of defense remaining on the A side is this one player in Arches. AWP watching the angle. HiGHLiGHTS good for the first.
Fan of that on the basis that, yeah, they do have lots of utility. I suppose. Oh, he's done to the bomb.
But yeah, I do want to see it regardless. Now Dynamo, straight out the apartments they go. A site is their final destination, and the AWP cannot be good for anything more than just
because of it. There it is. All right.
And with how much time is remaining, Dynamo can pretty much feel a lot more comfortable. I cannot believe that K1 actually gets away with that kill with how much control they had.
Oh, wow.
Yet another kill on top of that. Late aggression into Banana, and HiGHLiGHTS trying to play the redemption duties. Tries to go through. That's a shot, a no-scope, but he cannot follow it up. HiGHLiGHTS finally willingly steps into his coffin, and TM in the ground, maybe.
No. It's definitely in the ground. I hope we see it. Would explain a lot. Good flashbang. Oh, Borup.
Slowly walking into the site. 2 players huddled up into triple, and Burt from Sky is going to peek out because he doesn't want the first player's position to be given up, but he does eventually fall quickly, have that little bit of loss bonus, and actually give himself a fighting chance. Okay, we can still have a conversation, but HiGHLiGHTS will quickly put... Nice shot from HiGHLiGHTS. Has a little how much space K1 is going to be able to get, courtesy of the fact that he was spotted, but at least he's able to get Rawls. Now he's going to double back around, he's going to act as that second prong, and with TMB actually being spotted and killed, Borup will be... This Molotov is going to make his life impossible, still trying to fight back, finds a shot through the Molotov, and that's going to buy enough time for HiGHLiGHTS to move in, but Capson responds, op shot, connected, and now Capson... He realizes there's not enough time, and he's gonna lose his life after.
A 7-1 start that now goes 7-3, and more than likely will actually go 7-4 here. Copenhagen Flames will be able to somewhat claw their way back into this. Smoke to do so. They'll start to pressure forward. Borup does spot one on the angle, takes the duel and wins it. With a man advantage, I fancy their chances. With a 2-man advantage, I really start to favor.
He's trying to find something around the smoke. Climbs up. Wanted to have a one-way, but unfortunately, even with the advantage, even though he... NBQ, nice little open over towards the A site. And I think Detour might actually be able to catch the AWP as well. Nice couple of shots onto HiGHLiGHTS, so This is an A site
Done
that
incredibly well here once again to actually get onto this A bomb site, pressuring away the Flames, who have got enough money finally to actually just... Bird from Sky. Not sure if he realizes just how close they are, but it doesn't matter. He's ready for them when they push through. A huge double. Another lingering, definitely heard those footsteps, but they know he's here as well. He didn't have time to fall away, somehow takes a third before dropping.
that second insurance policy. His Molotov is going to impede their progress entirely. Little smoke being deployed as well to allow a better line of sight for TMB. Acts as a little one-way smoke. Rawls tries to defend, and as they're trying to catch TMB, they're not going to realize that he's comfortably sitting in the smoke, catches one around the curtain, and he wants to look for more. NBQ, last man standing, and there's not a whole lot you can do against 3 players, but HiGHLiGHTS will prove exactly why.
Up close, though, they do know his location. Might be able to overwhelm him with the Glocks. Detour finds the opening regardless. Ooh, nice shot from Valencia as well.
Yeah, pretty much cleaning house here on the Dynamo side. K1 finally swings out. TMB with a USB collected still has a chance, but unfortunately a bullet wants to play a little more proactively with the MP9 as they try to pour out of apartments. Force player collected. Capson and Valencia are making quick work of the opposition. Switching over to the USP, Valencio still being a threat over towards Spit. Doesn't want to over-aggress, doesn't want to overstay his welcome, and he's finally going to swing out. First flashbang to go through, and Burr from Sky is overwhelmed.
Their own medicine.
Unsure how exactly that's going to work out. Mac-10s and Tech-9s to aggress. You see that one of the CTs is trying to be a little more over-aggressive. NBQ tries to press the issue by himself. And with 2 players...
Bird from Sky, flashing his teammates in. They've isolated and anticipated the fact that they're going to be in pit. And they actually don't take any casualties
off the top of the balcony. But look at how much utilities have. What needs to drop down, needs to avoid the util, but just can't. Capson tries to do something with the rifle, but unfortunately, he just can't quite get it over the line. Borup now tasked with the responsibility of coming out of apartments and getting a player. He does just that. NBQ, final member.
Uncharacteristic from Capson, but there it is. The redemption shot, NBQ in the corner. They just can't trade him. There it is, finally. Borup swings it his way, but the numbers don't go with it. A 4 versus 2. Make that a 4-on-1. As Rouse away at him. Oh, they're pressuring him down. Surely no chance. Rouse, yeah, only damage, no kill.
Copenhagen Flames. Bomb left all the way back. Just want to make sure they have some space before they actually...
Off straight away, or whether they hold their ground. Expect this to be a fake. If they don't, Capson's got his work cut out for him because he has to defend here. B player still not rotating off. Come on, the contact's been made. The bomb's been spotted. They're leaving their teammates high and dry, but it doesn't matter. Capson and Valencio getting it all done. As Borup
set up to get past. If they decide to push towards B, there's 3 players waiting on the other end. Capson gets very aggressive, and he's able to immediately react to the player coming towards his crosshairs. A bit of an execute has been thrown out, but this is just to distract from the fact that Borup is trying to get something done by his lonesome. NBQ catches him, though, and now the situation is pretty much fully telegraphed. TMB with little HP wants to try and push towards A, but his efforts will be quickly drowned courtesy of the nade. And now is just cleanup duties.
Copenhagen Flames start to shift their way forward. Valencio with a big opening, doubles up, takes the kick, but shrugs it off. HiGHLiGHTS can find the trade, actually takes both. Needs to take out Capson. If he dies to this AWP, then it's round over, and there it is. Fate sealed, Borup, 1-on-3.
Ooh.
That's the first. Be a chance here. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Borup. No way.
Find this final member, and as he goes into the site, he should be able to find that information. Borup! How have you...
Brutal. As you say, I stress the importance of it. This one's a huge one as well. Daitor, 2 huge AWP frags, the double setup. I wasn't sure how it would work out for them so far. Well, Daitor, oh no, Counter-Strike moment. Oh, tries to extinguish his own molly.
Dynamo are second guessing whether or not they even want to go for this. Stuck behind the smoke. Capson's able to find one. Now they're going to do this late round push. Coffin player collected. TMB and Rawls a kill apiece. Op locked out, and the CTs have made a terrible mistake. The Flames.
Oh, man.
Just one flash remaining. Borup is going to be the one to throw it. They're going to go in dry. Finally, the flash comes through. They're going to push through the smoke. NBQ catches the player that is able to transgress, but HiGHLiGHTS just can't pay in kind. 10 seconds remaining. Bomb starting to go down. Getting spammed through the coffin means that he can't get the bomb down with only 4 seconds. Capson, all he's got to do is stay alive, and Borup knows this. Borup, CT side player soon, and now the call has been made. Bomb tapped to try to bait out the player over towards site. Detour over towards coffin. He's made the mistake of over-aggressing before, but he's not going to do it again this time around. He's going to wait it out, just waiting for his teammates to arrive, but he's finally going to fall to the P250, and once again, Detour will be the man that gets picked off early. The weak link in Banana, even with the kills that he's been able to get, Valencio sprays one down. They've got to get this. Rawls, headshot through NBQ. Valencio and Capson now on retake duties. It could still be overtime. There's still a very decent chance, but the bomb is ticking down. Rawls, he's got a Galil. He falls. They can't quite find the final player in TMB. He's going to wait it out. Bomb being defused. TMB just needs to be able to defuse, interrupt the bomb diffuser. Oh my goodness, it just comes.
I love the chickens. I'm that guy that it's where's Josh? Why has he not traded me? Oh, he's over.
It's all a matter of just getting that bomb down. If they can get the player in pit, if they can get the bomb down, it should all be over. And with both players being collected, flashes allowing the teammates to move through. Detour is desperately spamming through the smoke, and the one line of defense available on the site is gone. TMB gets to the short player dissected as well, courtesy of the AK waiting for him in Cubby. HiGHLiGHTS headshot through for Detour, and now just... I don't even know what to say. I mean, Dynamo have been relying on so many lifelines, but you could... And now they're crumbling under the pressure of overtime. At least they've been very careful about their economy, so they're not going to have to worry about too much. But NBQ's already fallen, courtesy of trying to go for early aggression, with Fida being able to get a kill, but being traded by Rawls. Now, the responsibility of going for a refrag falls on Capson's shoulders. I want to get a little bit aggressive with the AWP, but TMB's timing is so good. Stuck in the cubby the whole time, doesn't peek up until the AWP is vulnerable. Valencio now has shown his hand.
Nothing to lose here for Valencio. It's the last round of the half, so he does swing into this, but insult to injury. Borup, a one-tap.
A complete balls-to-the-wall approach of the game, where you've got maxed out money. Excellent opener from Burt from Sky, though. They needed that kind of attention, but without the refrag. And the problem for Dynamo is that just for that refrag, they've actually lost quite a bit of HP on Detour as well. Is that going to be enough? Ooh. Player collected over towards A. HiGHLiGHTS liberally takes his time before he pulls the trigger. The round.
You make a really good point at the start of this round, though, that
the T's actually commit a little bit late. They didn't go for the immediate push. They didn't want the CTs to be able to read into that, but regardless of what kind of play they go for, regardless of the timing, Borup's just going to be good enough to shut them down pretty much on cleaning duties. How does he even get that kill on Capson? So nice and clean. Copenhagen Flames. This is all at the end of the stream. But yes, back to the game. Copenhagen Flames. Not sure how they were able to come back on map number 1, but they've done just that. And Dynamo, now they've got a lot of work cut out for them. Fida is able to find HiGHLiGHTS. Nice little tap on the second player as well. Burt from Sky and TMB now in a position where they have to fight against 4. Burt from Sky significantly tagged up. TMB can't even make it out of spawn, and Dynamo
he is a chunky squirrel.
Damn, he's like the Mag 7 of squirrels.
The Mag 7 of squirrels. I don't know about that. They're doing a lot of damage. I wrote this off because it's an eco round.
But he walks into his crosshairs and gives him a freebie, but HiGHLiGHTS, I really like that little 1-2 from them. So it's chunk to it. Like, it's a hefty boy. Like, it has some thought to it.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Nice trade. 4v4.
Hold on, though. I'm not really sure how this AWP gets to survive for that long, but Detour is quickly tucked into bed. Got a kill like peanuts to a certain squirrel. And TMB is going to be feeding Valencio bullets.
HiGHLiGHTS. Wait. He could be in for an early Christmas present. Corner checked, though. And Borop takes care of him. So the counter-strike now, the big guns are out. And Copenhagen Flames are actually taking a lead here on their T side. HiGHLiGHTS right through the smoke in middle. Actually leaves himself with a nice little gap to work with there. Dinosaur finds one back in the meantime. Oh, think through the wall as well. Okay. Oh, Dinosaur's in trouble.
As soon as they try to get the bomb down, they're quickly going to be threatened. The op now making its way towards NBQ, going for a second shot as well. But Detour is going to be a little bit faster on the trigger than both of them.
Cheeky up close here towards Cheetah. Doesn't want to overstay his welcome. Maybe he does. Pushes right through. Wants to bring the fights to his opponents. And somehow...
Characteristic of Ancient, right? It's very easy to get away with frags that are going to be left relatively untraded just by how the map is structured. But this is a big problem for the T side because the bomb is out in the open and HiGHLiGHTS, courtesy of the flashbangs unfolding. You can see that HiGHLiGHTS is already posted up towards ramp, but the question is whether or not that bomb eventually makes it to a site. Detour, that's the threat I was talking about. Red Room was something they had to consistently watch out for, and unfortunately they
to execute onto this B bomb site and try their luck.
Nice couple of shots on Defeater. And looks at going all the way around. Wants to save that AWP or perhaps check for a potential flank. Gets one through the smoke. Burt from Sky's dead, and Valencia's been able to get one as well. So this is still very closely contested. And with two players rotating in from ramp, it's not going to be the easiest duel against these CTs. Rawls and HiGHLiGHTS have to try to get them off this bomb. Shots on to Detour. Detour's taken out of commission, and with both players being picked up by the MP9.
Time. Okay, all right. I know where I'm getting my monitor from. DMB. Nice pick in mid. Valencia instantly trading it though. Side of Ancient. We know how powerful the defense can be. We saw it earlier on today. Capson finding that solid.
Is such a statement to be making already. Like, yeah, sure. It's not like it's a dominant half or anything as far as the specific score is concerned, but knowing that they're on the T side, that you do need to get the bomb down eventually. The CT is now starting to be a menace. Fida is left unchecked, and with Rawls being able to get two, he still has just enough time to be a menace. Has to go for the tap on the bomb once again, and he's just giving up too many audio cues. Goes for yet another plant. Tries to fake it out.
Firepower there. An interesting one-way smoke. I've actually, the first time I saw that, it completely blew my mind. It was in a game that I was playing, and since that point, I've actually seen quite a few pros throw it as well. Means that you can spot the feet as the CT side. Really, really powerful. Nice opening from Valencio. Daitor. Oh, he's gone completely incognito. And HiGHLiGHTS, I mean, once again, he's kind of stuck in one of these situations. He's having massive impact, but when he's in constant clutch situations...
HiGHLiGHTS actually has a shot? No.
No.
For a second there, he anticipated that somebody might have pushed through.
Bird-themed, both of ours, I think.
Ooh, Detour. He's about to be pressured, but he's waiting. He is anticipating the flashbang, and he's able to avoid it just in time. Barely Flash is able to get it. TMB, though, in the meantime, and mid-presence is going to be something he has full control over. It'll be waiting. NBQ turns away at the wrong time, and he's anticipating a player to push in from middle, but the alley player is the one that ends up winning out. Capson, defender of the ace site, waiting, missed shot, can't quite catch the jump, bomb now planted, and Detour will be the one prong that is difficult to deal with. Comes in from the side, missing a few shots is not going to change the outcome, but HiGHLiGHTS now has a chance to make things right. Gets a shot through the flash, but unfortunately it's not going to be... CTs are still going to be a menace to deal with. Detour is flashed out of his mind, and Capson could have just been the difference maker there. He's gotten 2 shots off of the Glock, and as the time is ticking down, the one luxury they have is the fact that they still have the kid. But man, Capson, he's pretty much shut down the round all by his lonesome. 4 kills for him. A bit of a cheeky attempt by Bora.
4 pistols and an MP9 up against 4 rifles and a MAC-10. Dynamo ECLOT not taking any chances, and they get off to a good start.
Still not the worst chance for the Flames because they've managed to get a kill courtesy of Borup with the Desert Eagle. There's an MP9 in the hands of Rawls as well, and Burt from Sky has consistently allowed them to keep things close. Now, Rawls, nice couple of shots with the MP9. HiGHLiGHTS getting a shot, looking at an economic wall if they lose this one out. So he's going to try to isolate these duels.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Borup, such a prime position here if it goes unchecked. Oh, it's huge. Accompanied by a flashbang as well. He has a field day, mows him down for the triple. Feeder, good for one, but HiGHLiGHTS.
The dynamo can do a lot about. And I bite my tongue because Feeder's actually able to get a double. Now, being able to sprawl over middle most of the time and look at that. That's exactly what's happening. Burt from Sky, with the assistance of a flashbang, he can get much closer to ramp, and even though they've abandoned A, that does give them quite a bit of space to work off of. The question is that enough space? Because NBQ is ripping them to shreds.
Oh, wow. Oh, Borup on being tapped. Might actually try and work his way through. Can't deny it. And as he pokes his head out, NBQ's there ready. Wait.
And Burt from Sky, that is such a difficult position to be playing. Ooh, nice little boost here from Rawls.
HiGHLiGHTS with a man advantage on the angle. Burt from Sky on the flank as well. Needs to fire away and connect for this one. Whiffs a little bit, but his teammate's there to find. Now, pressuring further forward. Rawls up close to Capson. Flash over the top. Oh, does help Rawls out a hell of a lot. Capson gone. Now the man advantage. Smoke into Donut as well. Is Rawls going to commit to this defuse? No, they want to pressure forward for these kills.
Oh, they're still sticking on the defuse. Rawls is still yet to be punished. They're desperately trying to spray through the smoke, but they're able to get it just in the nick of time.
Openings, and yeah, that was a must-win round for the Flames, to be honest. And even though it's difficult because you know that they've got
HiGHLiGHTS forced out of his position, tries to avoid the flashbangs, but he's only good for one before he falls. It's a 2-for-2 trade, so the CT's out in the open, so the Flames have a lot of work cut out for them. Burt from Sky peeking in, anticipating Feeder's position, but he still can't hit the shots. Now, Team B is going to peek out just in the nick of time, and Valencio doesn't pull the trigger for the longest time, allows them to dig their own grave, and then... But I do think the Flames still have a bit of kick in them. I don't think Ancient's over just yet. Nice opener from TMB, knowing that he only had the MP9, goes for a balls to the wall gamble approach. And Burt from Sky is going to do some more of the same. Oh, just not enough time to switch over to the AK that he had.
Round for the Flames to pick up. If they can't, they're in trouble. HiGHLiGHTS does manage to cross into the head angle just before taking contact. A humongous kill, but now into the 2v2. Valencio over the top, spots him out, finds him, leaves Rawls in it. Might be able to deny this plant. Capson sees him coming up close. And once Rawls is able to
looking at a very weak Flame side that have to go for nasty comebacks and individual prowess to be displayed on the server. Time starts now. Oh. Unfortunate.
They've now really got nothing to lose, and they've got the buffer of a third map to come their way regardless of the outcome. Valencio still picking them apart though as they just keep peeking it into him one by one. It's not going to go your way if you fall like that. Burt from Sky has to deliver here, swings out, and oh my goodness, he does. A double kill. Maybe over-aggressive as he tries to swap out for the AWP. Needed to just fall away and buy time.
He wants to be able to have the element of surprise, and as he peeks out, Dynamo ECLOT is going to close it out.
Yeah, things roll though. Bomb been left behind towards the T spawn as Dynamo ECLOT go for a default. Borup aggressive in short though, and one bullet fired, one kill found. We get off to a good start.
Yeah, decent start for the Flames, but NBQ wants to turn that around. Ooh, nice and crispy from HiGHLiGHTS. And Burt from Sky is going to be doing some more of... First, they have to sniff out HiGHLiGHTS. That's step one. Unfortunately, step one is where they already
fumbled. Be alive for much longer. Borup sees him on the jump, and okay, does fall, but
they're going to want to do things dry. Here we go. Nice little nade comes in from Toxic. Valencio's good for the first frag, and Now they've got to make a move towards the B side. There's still one player that has yet to be spotted, dropping down into water. Vols is a big menace, but Detour is going to keep things tight. This leash is going to continue to tighten around the CT's necks. The problem we're here is that both players were expecting flanks, and that's why they took extra time. TMB, ooh.
Sige take a step back. That's a huge whiff from Rouse. But Nade will finish off the job.
Just a matter of time before these pistols will fall, and Copenhagen Flames will comfortably get to that. Honestly, I'm a little surprised that the Flames are starting off so strong, considering
planted and whatnot. So they need to have some kind of success here to restore that faith. Nice opening from HiGHLiGHTS. A response elsewhere. TMB drops to an early 4-on-4. The two-man defense here towards Connector. Smokes actually hit MBQ, so gives away his position.
To whittle down the timer, Capson misses a shot. Borup is suddenly feeling a little threatened, but HiGHLiGHTS finally turned up, and both play their own thing, allow rounds to just walk into their hands. And this time around, though, when the T's come out of the monster pipe, they're going to be able to very easily win out the initial duels. Really good flash.
So makes sense for them to sort of take a step.
And if he does decide to aggress, he's going to be able to sniff this B push out before it actually happens. Really good connection there from NBQ. Nice little split over towards the B side. Do they want to immediately push the issue, though? That's the question. Yes, they do, because Valencia's already halfway into the site. Nice little flashbang from Fida, and Detour will be putting on the pressure. Ooh, that is a little rough around the edges from TNP. The A side being entirely barren means that they can very comfortably just get full control. And you know what? Valencia's already gone above and beyond. If he's gotten control of the A site, if he's gotten all the way in, now the CTs are retaking B. And in the meantime, Dynamo can pretty much get everything done on A. Nice shot on NBQ. Great reaction. Nice little collection there from... Now it comes through. Nice little execute. HiGHLiGHTS stuck in toilets. Tagging one through the wall. But he's not going to be too suffocated. He knows his teammates are coming through when Capson will be the last man standing. Chance at a bomb plant? Yes, there is. But unfortunately for him, he's going to be shut down very soon. Oh. Does he have a chance? They're giving him a little bit too much comfort.
Oh
Had
he
gotten the one no-scope,
ridiculous.
man, that could have been the one. Flames were pretty much silent before that, and this sort of a saving grace once again, because Dynamo ECLOT, they have just been so stellar at securing round after round. Nice shot from Fida.
Everyone's right now. He's got free reign. This is a major problem for the Flames. They just do not know how to defend this A bomb site. They just keep giving it up.
And honestly, the biggest problem is that Dynamo ECLOT don't even have to...
Pretty obscene. But from Skype, nice early opening though. He wants to make sure that that isn't a reality that they face. Rouse with another, that's huge.
Quickly realize that they haven't really had great A-side defense, because this time around they've rotated a lot more players over. They're allowing 4 players to come through. Going down into connector, TMB should be able to catch a player in the back. AWP spotted and delivered to the graveyard.
There it is.
Showing the same kind of monster presence as they were before. And you know what? I love this adjustment from the Flames. They're now trying to play it a little bit more proactively. They have this push going to monster. Nice little shot. And this is something that Dynamo haven't exactly been conditioned for. That is exactly why the player simply isn't ready for it.
Here's something. Dicks around. Oh my goodness. What the hell is that? That's an unbelievable shot.
Still locked out though. Borup is going to be super aggressive with it. 2 kills courtesy of the M4, and Capson just an AWP. That's not the right weapon to take on 3.
A 9th would be huge here for the Flames, but a 7th Welcomed in
Oh my
open arms,
God.
Valencia. What a spray, that's huge. Burning in the flames as well, no fear.
Welcome to hell as he burns connect shot though, and as the flashbang goes out, he's allowing himself a little bit more mobility. Doesn't quite get the spray down, and that leaves TMB and Regali. They're being stomped down by Dynamo ECLOT, both coming in from Bank. One shot by NBQ, adds another one to the tally, and that is clean stuff from
Big Hellcase fan.
Mm-hmm.
8-7. Blocks pressuring forward. Oh my goodness! I don't think he was
How do they
expecting
win
to make
that?
3, but they get all of them.
How is that even
ridiculous?
possible? They're all waiting. They have the perfect positioning, it's the perfect gamble, but unfortunately the dice can still roll the other way. Capson and Valencia
what are they doing?
now trying to move in. They're making mistakes. No kit available. Shots missing left and right. Both teams being a little spooked, and Burt from Sky now coming in from short. That's the round that should have been guaranteed for the T's. The Burkers from Sky will still have to fight for it. Capson with a 180 headshot to the... Nice little opener from Capson. The CTs have their heads held high and their chests puffed out because they know they've just won a round they had no business dealing with. And this could be a huge cost, by the way. If this game ends up going something like 16-13, 16-14, you know exactly what round to blame. That was the one, the pistol round. Capson's quite low, so a Galil could very easily pick him up, but unfortunately for Regali,
Capson really liked that approach from Capson. It's a one and done if he goes for the fight, right? There's no way he gets away with a multi-kill and survives it. Ooh.
Yeah, I think Capson wants to just posture himself way more aggressively, so they're not going to expect him. That's exactly what happens. Regali tries to push out through the smoke and actually does successfully do that and is able to get Capson, but I'll just try to check out after this game, and if there's an option to ship, so I'll know.
Pressure up, 4v4. TMB in a very aggressive angle, might not be anticipated, and there it is. Brings the fight right to his opponents. Regali in the back lines. Detour not expecting Copenhagen Flames. Really do bite back here. A very solid response. A 1v3 from Feeder with no bomb going down just yet. It is possible. Spots the head to
CTs are still going to be very problematic, and now they're starting to rotate over towards the B side, which is where the crux of the action will be taking place. NBQ knows they're crossing over, is able to get one shot off, but unfortunately it's not going to connect more than just that. Caps Flames are pretty much guaranteeing an 11th round. Oh my goodness,
no.
Oh my goodness. Detour, he didn't even have his eyes open. His eyelids were glued shut, but he's able to still get a double. Valencia start to be that one pincer, the top bun of the sandwich will deliver.
How long it's just so brutal. You're exposed for such a long time, and there's really not a
better position, all things considered. Capson, nice shot through the head. Valencio wants to go explore.
Rouse. Oh, and TMB, okay. Things start to get interesting. There wasn't a lot of time on the clock. I thought they'd be under pressure here. I'm not sure what they're doing after that, though. That's really the issue. Two brilliant openings, but then seems like a little bit freebie on an AWP. It's rifles all round. And Borop swings wide, takes care of the first. It's Detour gone. And Borop, even partially blinded, will finish. Borop.
Yeah, he's got a nice little smoke, but unfortunately, Fida's watched the demos. Fida knows exactly how this...
Well, Valencio plowing away, does actually manage to find him low on health and down. We could see the scoreline tie up once again. Rouse creeping up from the toilets. Capson's missed an all-important shot. The A-bomb site now. Pincer in play, and Rouse is stuck between the middle of this. NBQ catching one more. Oh, Valencio doesn't quite get the timing of the Rouse, though. Oh, no.
Fida. Nice little shot to the temple. Hyper vigilant, ready to toss out the Molotov early on because he doesn't want to get caught out. Captain, nice little flick onto the first, doesn't quite connect the second, and he's going to get shot down by Rawls. Now they know they've gotten some... Very important to see is how NBQ is going to maneuver around this. Valencio's been a menace with the MP9. NBQ walking into toilets, exactly the threat I thought he would be. Valencio will be able to pick up the pieces.
Oh, HiGHLiGHTS. Not able to find himself.
Dynamo ECLOT, though, 15-13. Very difficult situation for the Flames to be in. Borup, really nice opener, and that's the kind of performance we need from individuals to turn up. Valencio's been incredible. Capson's been incredible, but where are the counterparts when it comes to the Flames roster?
What just happened? All I did was... I've just unplugged it and plugged it back in again. It's fine. Copenhagen Flames actually getting this done. I stayed afloat here.
And now that he's thrown the Molotov, they know exactly where he's in. They're going to be zoning in on him like vultures.
That rifle, but Capson now getting in to connect. They're about to take a close fight. TMB. Oh, that's it. Round sealed, done, dusted. We're going to...
Yeah, this is... Well, that I didn't mean two maps of overtimes, but there's no other way I would have the final match of the day. The final map must do the series.
Perfect. 4 up. Aggressive through short. Oh my goodness, Valencia over the top of the smoke. Seems like now that they've got the guns out again, it's easy pickings. It's the last couple of rounds they've had no money for. It's a 5v2. They've got no control. Bud from Sky is about to walk into his death, and there it is. Clean stuff. 16.
You see, he's facing towards the right, and the gun is green right now. But then...
Oh, needed to hit that headshot onto Capson. Spots the barrel, has another crack at it. Capson continues to peek, and NBQ caught with his pants down right in the open. This has got to be 16 for the Flames, and once again, it's off of the back of ECLOT. Just, I'm not even sure what a VA execute late. Capson just continuously going for these peaks and not hitting his shot.
Does Borup actually stop him this time around? It actually does have the advantage, but Borup collects his 30th.
Actually spotted him as well. I know we have the X-ray, but did see him around the edges of that smoke. Didn't seem to react, and yeah, ended up being a bit of a 50-50 engagement. Valencio aggressive. Man advantage here for the Flames. Not for much longer, surely. Borup, oh man, caught out by the aggression. With 45 seconds left, this has really been a round of prods and pokes. Death by 1,000 cuts. HiGHLiGHTS with another. But there we go. Finishes off the job. 17-16. This game, they're really struggling to maintain control of this site. So, yeah, stack up 3 players. HiGHLiGHTS, a bit aggressive towards the toilets. Does get caught out, but he's got 2 players here to trade. Ooh, close. Ooh. Oh, this is going to be an overtime game.
Yeah, like there's... I mean, honestly, I was expecting there to be at least 1 overtime in the series, but I didn't think that it was going to be one of those map 3.
He struggled to, like, get up on the fence. I could see him. Yeah, brute. Based on how the matches went earlier on, I'm pretty confident that both of these 2 teams should be staples for the main bracket, but we'll have to wait and see. Borup, nice opening. Copenhagen Flames, a man advantage. Make that 2 as HiGHLiGHTS takes another. This is...
Man, I would not want to be in the shoes of Dynamo right now. There's just so much pressure to play against the CT side of the Flames, and a very solid chance at closing it out. And as soon as I say that, Detour, the awareness here from the Flames, they're actually still keeping Rawls here in the water. He's able to get a kill, doubles it up with a nade that follows down Detour, but it's not even going to be needed.
Just so much pressure. It's so horrible being in these situations, knowing you can't make a mistake, and you really don't want to be the one player to make the mistake that costs your team the round. HiGHLiGHTS. Oh my goodness, that's lightning fast.
You could barely see that. This Phantoms managed to make such a big dent in the opposition, but Rawls and TMB, they might just want to stop it right here. I cannot believe the Flames are getting away. He had a window of opportunity where he could get the AWP player. He gets that opportunity again, and he's going to be able to double up on the B side.
No.
NBQ, headshot through TMB. because he's allowed the player to sneak into Graffiti. There it is. First shot starting to fly through, and Dynamo ECLOT keep it close.
All right.
Nice couple of shots through the smoke from Fida, but TMB quickly gets the recognition that there's a player behind. Oh. Capson and Valencio, 2 kills a pop. As the rotations start to come through, Capson, I love that awareness from him. He's just mentally not checking out the smoke, ready for it, but Capson...
to help him out if 2 players peek or if he gets caught out like this, but there isn't. And Dietor's able to take the man advantage.
Into the B site we go. Valencio is putting on the pressure over towards short. Bora might have missed a few too many shots on the initial player to allow him to even recover from that.
They ended up pulling it back to OT. They ended up finding themselves on a map point of their own. And then they miss out. The Flames. 2 big entries traded by Capson. Can take another hit. Things even out, but misses the shot. Blind through the smoke. BQ might be able to do that job though, and he does. Brings the numbers their way. That's perfect. Right position.
He's given up quite a bit of information here and space, but Capson in the meantime catches well. At least he can pressure the short player early on, and a nade to follow through also catches NBQ. Just 1 player to catch now, and somehow he can get the drop on Capson as well.
Spams come through for TMB. HiGHLiGHTS with a good opening. Remember, 21 each in the playoffs.
Here it comes, the aggression. Burr from Sky will be the first man to aggress. And this is really good for Fire under their ass to just get this across. Capson. It equalized the numbers, and the NBQ did just the same. Just a matter of whether or not HiGHLiGHTS can hit this shot. Bit of patience would have gone a long way, but Capson now in a 1 versus 2. He's got a lot to do for his team. Bomb already halfway ticked down. Rawls knows exactly where he's coming from, and the audio cue is there, but this is pretty much a checkmate situation. Overtime, we're simply not going to have enough money on the CT squad to be able to do just that. Here it comes though, NBQ. He's serving as an excellent distraction because there's still a player in water, but Fida needed to hit those shots. There's absolutely no way he was going to have to allow Rawls to push through. Rawls and HiGHLiGHTS now at the mercy of Detour, who's managed to sneak up behind them. Bit of trigger discipline, but he eventually does decide to jump the gun. That's going to be it. Dynamo ECLOT.
And a minute on this clock. Valencia actually starts to get a little aggro with this AWP. Not the resident sniper, not the usual stuff.
NBQ, flashbangs to delay them, and as the flashbang comes out, NBQ goes for the dual spray transfer as well, but Fida will be the one to clear out that kill. The Flames desperately need to start winning out these aim duels if they want a chance at closing it out. Detour and Fida win their duels, Detour adding another one to the tally, and in just a snap, Dynamo will...